Since no one else is singing this Symkarium's praises, I may as well. So it does appear that Sony's Venomverse does possess some potential. What with Venom being a surprise hit that almost broke $1 billion, as well as Morbius and Let There Be Carnage coming out within the next year. But even with everything going on with Sony at the moment, it wasn't all successful. Because before Venom even came out, the initial second film within the Sony Venomverse, Silver and Black, was for all intents and purposes cancelled. Which to this very day, I can safely say that Silver and Black was a terrible idea from Sony from the get-go. However, upon reflection and really delving into this character, I sincerely believe that Silver Sable does have a lot of potential for not just her own solo movie, but potentially even the overall Venomverse, if not the MCU, depending on whether it's actually going to be even remotely connected. And of course, there's no denying that the Black Cat is more of a recognizable character than Sable. However, I would argue that Silver Sable as a character can bring so much more to the table, and her inclusion could really expand upon either the Venomverse or MCU, again depending on where she's going to be residing. And yeah, Silver Sable is kind of a C-list Spider-Man character in the grand scheme of things, but as history tells, you can make a successful movie out of fairly obscure characters. Not to mention that her inclusion in Spider-Man PS4, while not the best representation of the character, at least did bring her some new audience and brought her to the mainstream. Now for those who are unfamiliar with her origins, Silver Sable was mostly raised by her Nazi hunting father, and after an incident which caused the death of her mother, Sable had went through intensive training at a young age and then ultimately became the Nazi hunter herself, leading a group of mercenaries after her father's passing, known as the Wild Packs. Now in my eyes, I truly believe that Silver Sable's origin can make for a fascinating film, because it would be truly intriguing to see how such intensive training and trauma could really affect someone like Silver Sable and how she transformed into the assassin and mercenary that we all know today. And yeah, you might have to do some tweaks here and there surrounding her origin, because truthfully Silver Sable is quite possibly one of the darkest anti-heroes in the Marvel universe, and her brutality is about on par as the Punisher's. But even outside of her ruthlessness, she always has a soft spot for her people and her nation known as Symkaria. And alongside being a mercenary, Silver Sable is actually the ruler of Symkaria herself. And why I bring up Symkaria is because it has a lot of ties to Latveria as well, and given that we know that Doctor Doom is going to appear in the MCU eventually, if Silver Sable was to be introduced into the MCU as well, could really explore not just the history of Latveria and Symkaria, but you could also explore her relationship with Doctor Doom and how they both share this rivalry slash friendship slash implied romance. Speaking of ties to the MCU, they could just as easily incorporate her father within the timeline by having him being a soldier during World War II. And you could say that in this version, Silver Sable was inspired by Captain America and her father, and that's why it's only now that she's stepping out of the shadows. Plus there's no doubt that because Spider-Man's future in the MCU is mostly safe for the time being, there is plenty you could do with Silver Sable and Spider-Man. Or hell, maybe you could even introduce Sable for Spider-Man 3 and have her being one of the many assassins to hunt down Spider-Man after his identity is now exposed. Now again, with some of my ideas surrounding Silver Sable within the movies, it all depends on how close the Venomverse will be with the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But when you factor everything surrounding her potential rival, there is plenty you can play around with. And the reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because I really love Silver Sable as a character, and I feel like there is plenty of potential for her in the future. But after all these years and so much potential under her belt, I feel like now is a good time to really push Silver Sable and Symkaria. What do you think of Silver Sable as a character as well as her potential within the future movies? Do you think that she has plenty under her belt, or do you believe that she is just nothing more than a C-list character? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.